Everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Oren Razon, the co-founder and CTO of Superwise AI. And today I want to take advantage of our short time to tell you briefly about what Assurance AI is all about. I think that the best way to explain it will be to go through why companies that use machine learning models approach us and how our solution helps them to build a more scalable strategy for implementing machine learning across the organization. So let's start. If until a few years ago, machine learning was considered only as a buzzword and companies were just beginning to test the feasibility of the technology, then today the situation is completely different. Today, it's already a known fact that in order to stay competitive in the environment, organizations across different sectors are gearing up and looking for how to utilize the technology to automatically drive critical business processes. Now, this transition from a custom and crafted solution that often kept only as a POC to something that is done systematically on large teams and large scale introduces us many new challenges. It's a bit like what we see here in the picture. You know, it's the difference between building something in your own backyard as a hobby to building a production line that works effectively and produces reliable products. What we see in the field can be seen today in every leading marketing analyst report that you will read. Companies really struggle to manage effectively the full life cycle of their machine learning models. The reason it's so difficult, it's because machine learning models are very, very different than standard software. If I will try to summarize the gaps listed here in the table, I will say that it comes down to the fact that models' quality will forever be dependent on the quality of the data that comes into the system, and the quality of the process depends on the relevance that the model has to the currently constantly changing environment ecosystem that it works on. The combination of these sensitivities from the one end and its built-in black box nature, where we cannot really track every pattern that the model identified, caused the models to fail or produce severe business damage quite frequently, honestly. And more important, those failures will fail silently until under the radar until it's already too late. Now, therefore, the most painful step that we identified at Superwise AI is what we call production day 2. It refers to everything that happened with the model the second after it was deployed to production and should actually operate continuously in the constantly changing production environment. What makes this stage even more challenging is the fact that, as we can see in the diagram here, in each of the other steps in the development cycle of machine learning, we usually can see a clear stakeholder, but we do not have any clear stakeholder when it comes to production day 2. That's exactly where we come into the picture. Our mission at Superwise AI is to empower both data science and operational teams with the such needed visibility and control on their machine learning models so they could scale their AI-based activities effectively. So how do we do that? We've built an AI assurance platform as a service. That means that we know how to connect to any type of model, no matter what the technology in which it was developed on, and in an agnostic way to where it was deployed on. We know how to connect it very easily and provide few critical capabilities. It begins with the ability to gain high-resolution transparency KPIs regarding the data that feed the process and the machine learning model quality and performance, and in addition to get also insight regarding a few of the operational aspects of the model. Using our own advanced, unique monitoring engine, the system recognizes the natural behavior of the process and know how to detect when there is a problem, such as drift, data integrity issue, or, for example, the need to retrain the model because the model is not relevant anymore. Using explainability techniques, we also provide the operational user with easy-to-use, very simple and nice interface where he can consume insights and gain confidence about the process. Those insights include things like identifying the global factors that influence the decision-making process, and also identifying influencing factors on specific subpopulation that might be interest for the operational teams. Also, we provide insight into the cases that the model usually works well and the cases where it usually more weak at. In addition to all of that, we are witnessing an increasing interest with regulatory issues, especially in markets such as finance, insurance, or healthcare, where in addition to all of the existing difficulties that we mentioned earlier, the organization also required to make sure that their models do not produce any type of bias or fairness issues, such as disparate treatment or disparate impact. Now, the beauty of our solution is that it allows both the data science team to be much more effective and in control, being proactively detecting problems in real time instead of doing firefighting. And they are also getting all the right tools to analyze the production issues effectively. The operational teams, from the other end, finally get some kind of transparency toward the process and how decisions are being made, and what is the current quality of the system and what factors could create some kind of risk in the process. All of that ultimately serves the business, of course, that it allows him to get ROI from effective machine learning, from its machine learning technology, while minimizing the existing risk that embedded inside those systems. To all of that, we can also add the fact that finally there is one place that broadcasts the same objective picture regarding the health of the machine learning processes to those very different users. A concrete proven example that was recently published by us can be seen in the words of one of our own customers. You can see here how we got into Monday.com to monitor their models that were used by the organization marketing department. Right after we integrated, we became a necessary tool, both for the data science teams that get transparency and insights from production, allow them to be more proactively and conduct more effective research, but also at the same time, the marketing analyst, which is the operational user, suddenly get a sense of independence and confidence as they get real-time proactive alerts regarding the health of the process, instead of constantly digging and searching to see if something is not okay and what is the health of the process. So enough with the big words, and let's see the system in action. First, we can see that once we've entered the system, we can explore and see the state of the various models that the platform was connected to. As I mentioned previously, we can connect to models that are being served in different platforms, such as DataRobot, AWS SageMaker, or even a custom Python service that you developed. We will now enter into a specific loan approval model, and immediately we see a rich analytical environment that provides the users with access to various models KPIs, and we can explore those KPIs on different time resolution, compare them across different time frames, and we can do it all for the entire model population or for a specific segment in the data that we want to monitor on. The information is available as an aggregative report or as a trend over time that also enable a cross-version view of the system health. The set of KPIs that come out of the box is very rich and include indicators regarding the level of performance of the models, in this case, log loss, ROC, AUC, and include KPIs on the quality and stability of the model inputs up to the feature level, and also KPIs of the model output. For each of them, we have available descriptive statistics such as missing value, variance, mean value, cardinality of the data, and more, as well as a unique drift analysis that could show drift from a feature level to the general multivariate distribution drift of your model inputs. In addition to this analytical rich environment, the user can also see insights about the weak spots areas of the model, where our system recognizes automatically low performance segments which are operating much worse relative to the entire set of data. Now, let's see additional flow of the system, where instead that the user will have to go model after model, KPI after KPI, and look for issues, we are proactively alerting when our monitoring engine detects abnormal issues. The alert could come in common channels such as Slack, email, or API webhooks. In this case, the system detected a general drift in the input data that feed the model. The system will allow the user to investigate and understand when the event started, what is the severity of the issue, and give you the tools to do effective in-depth analysis to see how each one of the features contributed to this drift and what exactly changed in their distribution, so the user could get a clear understanding of the drift root cause and find the best way to handle it. That's it. So I hope you found this session interesting, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of the conference. If you're at a point where you already have models in production and identified yourself with some of the difficulties that I've mentioned here, or even if you just want to share your thoughts and ideas on MLOps topics, I'm always happy to jump in and share my thoughts or from our experience. So feel free to reach out and contact us on social media or leave a message in our website. Have fun. Ciao.